CSGO is a great game, no doubt about it. I would say it is my favorite game, probably one of the best FPSs ever. It's just an amazing game overall. But like every game, there are flaws and there isn't anything that's ever perfect in life. There are some areas in the game currently that I personally do not like right now, and I know in the title I put hate. That is a pretty strong word, but given the current situation with how Valorant became such a huge contender against CSGO, I think these problems within the game and outside have become increasingly glaringly obvious with just how wrong some aspects of the game is handled currently. So here are the top 5 things that I currently hate about CSGO. The first one I think is super obvious, and it's that the matchmaking within the CSGO client itself is exceedingly horrible. It's just so bad, and improvements really need to be made in order for people to actually play the game itself. I don't want to go on third-party clients anymore. I've said this countless times in other videos. I just want to simply just log on to the game itself and just click on the matchmaking button to get into a game, and it should be as simple as that. But in reality, it really isn't so because of how the ranks are being used in game. I don't even know how people are being ranked in matchmaking, but in some certain games when I solo queue, I'm versing like against silvers when I'm like an MG or golds, or sometimes even higher ranks as well. It's kind of weird that you don't get situated in your specific category, your specific rank bracket. It's so awkward, and for those in non-prime, you're just gonna have an even worse time with how many cheaters there are there. So that new player experience is thoroughly ruined, and people are just going to not play the game. They're gonna go to the competitor, Valorant. I'm going to compare CSGO against Valorant a lot in this video because I think it's thoroughly needed, since Valorant is a direct contender. So when people are going to be looking for a 5v5 FPS shooter, they're going to compare between the two games to see which one is better and which one has a much more fun experience for them overall. In my experience playing Valorant, it has been a very easy and smooth experience playing matchmaking itself, and also you can actually see your MMR that you currently have and see how many points you need left to rank up to the next level. Whereas in CSGO, you don't really know exactly when you're going to rank up, or there might be even chances when you win and you still derank. It's so weird that they're not really transparent about that at all. So I would have to say that currently the matchmaking experience for CSGO is abysmal, and a huge overhaul of the matchmaking experience does need to be done in CSGO for more people to actually come and play. And I really do think now is the time to really do it. I would say it's long overdue already. My second gripe about CSGO is the current economic situation in game, where I would say it's really T-sided, and a lot of the economic situation that currently occurs in the game just really favors the T side in general. And watching all these pro games when you're at the top level of CS itself, you really start to see just how few retakes are currently happening because of how the economy is so harsh on the CT side. It's really bad. And also when pistol round happens and let's say the T side gets to plant but they lose the round afterwards, they can still buy up like 4 Galils, whereas the CT side has to buy like MP9s and a few FAMASs. The CT side can't really afford much for the second round purchase during that time, whereas the T side can just have an even better purchase than the CT side during when they lost the previous round. It's kind of crazy at the moment. Also, let's say CT side wins one round and then lose the next round. They get automatically reset and they're forced to go on a save. Whereas, let's say the T side loses the round and they also got the bomb plant in between that. Then they can just buy after that with full-on AKs. It's really shifted and leaned towards the T side for the economy right now, and I don't think that's really all too good, since you don't get to see that many retakes in game. You see a lot of saving going on, and overall I would say the quality of gameplay has kind of decreased, since you have to be so conscious of your economic situation on the CT side, and I don't think that's all too great at the moment. And personally, I don't really know what can be done with the economic situation at the moment. I believe they've reworked it a couple of times already, so who knows what could be done, if anything at all right now. But I would say that it is a bit of an annoyance currently with how the economic situation is currently being played out in CSGO. The next annoyance I have / hate is how very minimalistic Valve are on communicating with the community in CSGO. I know that Dota 2 is much more favored by the Valve devs, but I feel like the CSGO devs could do a lot more in terms of communicating with the community and just being more transparent on what they're going to do with future updates, because as the people who actually play the game, when you hear constructive feedback on the game and the future updates that could be happening, then I would say it could further improve the game itself and see the potential flaws in those updates that could still be fixed to provide a better overall experience when it rolls out. I know that last part is a bit of a stretch to communicate with the community before an update happens, but I would say that hopefully they can just overall just be a bit more transparent on what they do and just communicate more to help us understand what's currently going on with how CSGO is being handled at the moment. My fourth annoyance is the lack of updates that the game currently has, because I do think during times of boredom in the game and lack of content like we're having right now, we should be having something to fill in the gaps for these future operations that will probably happen towards the latter end of the year. During the middle part of the year, I do think something more could be added to make the game more interesting to further attract players, because after a while, just having nothing does get really boring. We also did have a new update recently with just sticker capsules, but that's about it. Sticker capsules are really boring after like a day or two, and these sticker capsules in particular weren't even that interesting. So I do hope that more content can be filled throughout the year to keep the game more fresh, give it a better experience, and more people could be having fun with this newer content that could be added. I don't know if there are any like engine limitations in terms of what they can actually do, but hopefully some more creative things can be done in the game and more fun events could be added as well. Now, my last hate, I would say, kind of coincides with the lack of communication, and that's Valve's lack of interference during important times when the game really needs the company's help, such as we're currently going through a time when NA is slowly, and well, not really slowly, but quickly dying out, and that is such a huge region with such huge amounts of player base. So having that region die in competitive CS is not a good thing to happen when they're all moving to Valorant, their direct competitor. The companies and orgs that are having these teams really need that stability to further stay in the game itself, and when Valve is not providing that, it's really not good. They're just going to leave the game and go towards Valorant itself, where Riot are providing financial stable sources for these orgs, and especially now so with the epidemic and all that, orgs need that financial support more so than ever, and frankly, Valve aren't really providing that at the moment. They're really just doing nothing as usual. There's also been a lot of match fixing, a lot of cheating that's been going on in the pro scene, as well as just in the game in general with the cheating stuff, and Valve haven't really been doing much at all to stop these match fixings. And I know that ESIC has been reported to find out and crack down on all these match fixing scandals, but they currently do not have enough manpower to find all these people in time, well, within a short amount of time at least. It's really tough. There's a lot of corruption that's going on within the game itself, and I really do think that Valve needs to interfere directly for once to stop all this and provide a clear precedent. Pro CS is, after all, a clear avenue to provide new players an aspect of what the game can look like at the top level, and it really is an integral part of this game we've known for so long. But that is my top 5 hatred / annoyances for CSGO currently, and I would love to know what you guys think about these 5 topics that I've talked about, and whether or not there are any more that can be addressed in the comments down below. So feel free, if you guys have any other annoyances / hates you have currently with the game itself, and I would love to hear more about them. I doubt this video will ever go to Valve, or they'll probably just never care in general, but making this video does, I guess, kind of help. Well, it also just makes me feel better since these annoyances have been around for a while now, but with Valorant in the mix now, it just became more and more annoying. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated, and have a great day. I'm Lightning, signing out. Peace.